Hello Virgo, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Six of Pentacles. This is a card of success. This is the card of maybe teamwork, maybe cooperation, maybe a gathering of people. I almost feel like you're about to enter into like a new club. You're about to be like invited into a group, an elite group of people, okay? There is light at the end of the tunnel here, okay? I think you're somebody who has been very focused on your goals. I think that you have avoided a lot of distractions. I think that you can see the goal in front of you. And I think right now is going to be a very prosperous time in your life. Okay? I think a lot of things are harmonizing for you. A lot of things are in alignment. This is kind of everything coming together for you. Let's put this card into a little bit of context and see what is going on. We've got a Four of Cups. Okay. All right. But the Ten of Cups. You're not counting your chickens before they hatch. You're not getting your hopes up too high until something is right in your hand, okay? There is the Art card, the Four of Wands, the Prince of Pentacles. We have a Six of Swords, a Princess of Swords, a Prince of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Interesting. Interesting, get the Hanged Man in this position too, just like the Leo reading that we just had. It's very interesting because this is kind of like we're sort of we're letting go a little bit. We're sort of surrendering to things. I wonder if this is a situation where you're experiencing some great success, but we sort of feel like I've got to keep going. You know, that I don't want to lose the focus that I've had, right? Even when we get the success and even when we want to feel the satisfaction, you still have this builder energy that's saying, no, I can't allow myself to enjoy this. I've got to keep pushing forward. I'm not done yet. Maybe the Hanged Man is saying, let's just release some of our fixed energy. You got fixed earth and fixed water. Okay, maybe we need to let go of some of this and let our feelings happen. Let yourself feel good about this. Okay, this is good news. This is major news. But with that Four of Cups, it's kind of like saying, nope, I don't believe it. I'm just got to keep working, keep working, keep working. It's like someone's tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, like you made it. You can stop now. You know, at least for the time being. Anyway, let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here with our very own Kelly Kapoor right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, as we look around the room, we see two major arcana energies being in the pressure cooker. And this is release. To me, this is, it's usually a card of suffering, of sacrifice, right? To me, it's kind of feeling like you can get out of the pressure cooker now. You don't have to have all of this tension. You don't have to be on the blacksmith's anvil any longer. We can sort of release that. I know it sort of makes sense to have these cards together and say that we're volunteering to be on the blacksmith's anvil, that we're volunteering for the pressure cooker, that we're sort of surrendering to the nature of the situation and we're letting it happen. We're doing the challenging thing. And that's what the pressure cooker is. That's what the blacksmith's anvil is, right? But to have this card then at the end and saying like, look, you're succeeding. There should be closure. Everything's going according to plan. You have this Ten of Cups here, this ultimate satiety, satisfaction, and contentment. Why are we volunteering for the pressure cooker again? You know? So I feel like there is this perseverance in you that says even when things are going tremendously well, even when you're sort of experiencing the success and inside you kind of feel like I've made it, it's almost like we deny this in we push this down and we say, no, I can't feel content here. I need to keep going. I need to keep with this ambition. I need to get back in the ring. I need to get back in the pressure cooker. I think Spirit's saying, no, like take this win and enjoy it. Yeah, really let yourself feel good about it. You've got fire, you've got some water cards, you've got some air cards, you've got some earth cards. Everything is very much in balance, okay? So I feel that this is you diving into the water. This is you diving into the swimming pool and just saying, I made it, I love it, I'm happy, I'm content. Okay? We're not diving back into the pressure cooker, we're diving into the pool or the hot tub or whatever it is, okay? So the 6 and the 4 here, your hard work is paying off. Okay, again, there's light at the end of the tunnel, but with the 4 of Cups, you're trying not to celebrate until it's really here. Okay? And I think sometimes the 4 of Cups is like, I just don't believe it's real. And I'm kind of like, I'm not allowing myself to feel happy because what if it's a trick? Right? What if it's a test? What if it's not real? What if it's going to be taken away at any moment, right? Sometimes the 4 is a disbelief, or it is something is blocking us from feeling the joy of the win, of the success, right? So I think that, once you really get the positive proof that this thing is real and it's happening and it's here and you've arrived somewhere, or you've been invited into something or accepted into some group, or you're part of this, like you get the job, right? It's kind of like you're not going to believe it until you start, until Monday morning when you go into the new job and you're there and you actually have, your name tag on or your desk or whatever it is, and like you're there. And then maybe even once you're there, you kind of have to, you still have to do the work. I mean, there's still going to be more to do, I guess is the idea as well. But Spirit wants you to feel like you've made it, to believe that this is real and to feel it and to let yourself be immersed in this 10 of Cups. Because right now this is underneath the surface. This is the unconscious. This is what we really want. Right? This is what we really want to feel. But I think what we're consciously looking at it's just round and round we go. That I'm in the pressure cooker, I get some success, I go right back in the pressure cooker, and we're on this cycle, we're on this wheel, right? Rather than taking a break from that wheel, because this is really good. This is completion. It's saying that you put your mind to something, you set your will on it, you accomplished it. Very good. Right? Allow yourself to feel it. Don't block it out. Don't have this 4 of Cups that says, okay, another win, in the books. It's time to keep going. Let's just keep going forward. We're missing out on this, and I think this is very important. And this is kind of in the position of the obstacle as well. And I think the obstacle is to kind of let yourself go a little bit. The fixed energy to me feels a little bit too rigid. Okay? You have salt lamps in your room or something like this, something with the salt lamp, or I don't know if it's a Himalayan kind of pink salt, something or other, right? Spirit's referencing the salt. The 10 of Cups is satisfaction. Okay, the 10 of Cups is satiety. It's saying I've eaten enough and I feel nice and full. I don't need to eat. I don't want to eat anything else. I don't need anything else right now. The 10 of Cups is this feeling of fulfillment. The feeling like I've succeeded in my goals and I deserve this contented feeling and I don't need to strive for anything else. That in this moment everything is perfect. I feel like your life is going to be getting a lot better. The thing about the Four of Cups is that it's really a card called luxury. But very often, it's a card of us denying luxury in ourselves, denying luxury for ourselves, saying, "No, I don't want to take that. I don't want to sit. I don't want to lay down on that soft bed because I might fall asleep." You know, so we're sort of we're keeping ourselves fixed and rigid so that we can continue on this path. Because as soon as I sit down and relax, I want to be out like a light. You know, as soon as I get that comfy chair, I'm not going to want to get up again. So what? That's okay, right? Sometimes we need to just sink into the chair and let ourselves relax. So between this and this and this, well, and this, that there's a difficulty relaxing. There's a difficulty taking the success and just sort of sinking into it and just letting yourself feel warm and fuzzy for a little while. Okay? The luxury is here in your life. You've earned it. You can indulge in it. You know? You can let yourself feel good about it, okay? So, you know, there's no point in having a comfortable bed if you won't let yourself really just relax in it. You know, it's like you buy a really nice mattress, but then you're sleeping on the floor. It doesn't make sense, right? So I feel like your life is succeeding, it's growing, things are expanding. You're getting the promotion, you're getting the job, you're getting the big win, you're getting the financial boon. Your life can be a little bit more... your life can feel better now. You have to indulge in that, okay? The last thing I think you want, though, is to feel like I'm content right now because, you know, we kind of are, we're so used to the pressure cooker. We're so used to the sort of the discomfort and keeping ourselves disciplined that we don't know what it would be like to sit in here and just like be at the restaurant and say, I've eaten everything that I need to eat. I'm not hungry anymore. I just want to chill here with my friends and family and just feel good for a while. You know, I feel like your life is very fast-paced. Not frantic or hectic, but like orderly. It's like I get done with one thing, okay, now I got to move on to the next task and the next location, the next job, the next pathway. It's very structured, very focused. Maybe you need to schedule in some time where we can just relax. We can just feel the win. And in a moment, maybe it's easy to take 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day to cultivate a 10 of cups for yourself. Because this is something down beneath the surface in you. This is something that your unconscious wants you to do. But what we're doing is this. This is conscious mind. This is unconscious mind. We're on this merry-go-round saying, let's go again, let's go again, let's go again, what's coming next, what's coming next. It's like a human clock, okay? And we're taking off the hours. We're saying, okay, between this hour and this hour, I got to do this stuff. We're on a schedule. And of course, you see your Six of Swords down here. This is your plan and your organization. But what your unconscious really wants, the sort of alternative to all of that striving, all of that fixed and routine kind of very structured, but very ambitious, very productive energy, is this sort of unproductive energy. This is very unproductive, right? This is, this is just relaxing. This is just resting and doing nothing, just like looking at the clouds, just laying in the grass and just like, maybe I'll fall asleep, maybe not, We need a little bit of this, even if it's just temporary. And usually it is, right? You eat a lot of good food, you're full, and you're with your friends and family, and it's a good time. Eventually, everyone's going to leave. And eventually, you're going to be hungry again. Okay? And so, it's not going to be a permanent state, Once you sit down in that comfy chair, yeah, maybe you'll sleep for a while. Maybe you'll finally relax for a little bit and really do nothing. And maybe you'll sleep for the whole night, right? But then you'll be awake again and things can continue. But we have to honor this in us, this desire in us for that kind of rest. It's kind of the rest and digest card, And the Four of Wands, like I said, is it's always going to be there. There will always be something else for you to do, okay? So I think that this is a really big win for you. I think this is major news coming in. And you need to allow yourself to enjoy it and to really let it sink in, for you to sink into it. Because the pressure cooker in the background, this is like a long time of you struggling. This is you've been in the pressure cooker. You've been in the fire. You've been in the furnace. You've been on the blacksmith's anvil for a long time doing the hard work. It's paying off now. And your life can get more luxurious, right? And maybe it's kind of like, maybe too, it's Spirit's way of saying, go buy yourself something nice. Go treat yourself. You know, you're getting this big promotion or the big job, or your project was a success, or whatever it is. It's okay for you to treat yourself. It's okay for you to buy yourself something new, something nice, if you want to. Okay? We don't have to deny that in ourselves and be, this is sort of an asceticism. This is like an extreme frugality. Okay? And maybe that's how we want to live. We're very kind of minimalist, or maybe we are very, very frugal. We don't like excess and that sort of thing. But once in a while, Virgo, it's nice for you to reward yourself, because whatever you have been struggling with and working on for so long is going to be successful. Allow yourself a little bit of pampering, I guess, a little bit of luxury. Yeah. Because the way forward for you is going to be, well, more work. You're still building something. This isn't the end of the road. This is a big win, and this is a feel-good win. But you're not done building the structure, right? This is a 6 of Pentacles. It's not a 10 of Pentacles. Even the 10 of Pentacles, when we really get down to its esoteric meaning, the 10 of Pentacles is not a finish line either. But this is a winner's circle. But it's not the last. It's not the last effort. Okay, so we can temporarily pause the 4 of Wands. And I think you're somebody you are frugal. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to construct your life according to your vision. Okay, and I think that you have a sense of duty. You have a sense of reverence for what you're doing. It feels like it's a holy task. I feel like it is your purpose. Okay, you're unfolding your destiny. And I feel like part of that is you reaping the rewards for your accomplishments and allowing yourself a little bit of comfort, a little bit of luxury. Yeah, in a very real way. And then we're right back to, we're going to get up in the morning, put our boots on, and we're going to go do it again. We're going to go do more. We're going to keep working, keep building, keep trying to manifest our vision for our lives. Okay? So you're not losing energy, you're not losing steam. You're not, by enjoying a good meal and enjoying your friends and family and relaxing and resting, you're not losing anything. You're gaining by this. Okay? But this is not a very productive card, though. You're not building anything. You're building, I think you're building bonds. I think you're restoring your own energies. You're sort of, you're taking care of yourself in here a little bit. Okay? This is kind of that serotonin state. Everything just feels good. In this moment, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just being here and appreciating my blessings. Okay? And that's right back to work. Get back up, get back to work. Okay? Now, Path of the Serpent. I'm going to talk about these cards. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Readings are totally free. We start with the 6 of Swords. This is a structure and an organization. It's kind of like you've got life down to a science. Yeah. Spirit's saying something about a water bottle. I think you have one of those water bottles that have like the ounces or the milliliters sort of checked off on them, so that you know how much you're drinking, because I think you're very organized in that way. You might be a Virgo rising like I am. My ascendant is in Virgo. Because I do the same thing. I have a certain amount of water that I try to drink every day, and it's like my optimal amount, you know. I feel like you're kind of the same way. I feel like everything for you has a purpose and a point. If you're going to do something or buy something or use a product or have a behavior, there's a reason for it. Nothing is just sort of arbitrary and frivolous. So everything to you is very structured. It's like when you buy a pair of shoes, there's a reason why it's that shoe and not a different shoe. It's not just because I like the color. It's because it's functional, or it's useful in a particular situation. Everything is very well thought out. Okay? And that's kind of a big contrast between our Ten of Cups, which is just like, I'm just doing something just because, just feels good. And it's just, I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just existing here with it. I think that you also have a vision for your life. Like I said, you have a long-term plan. And I think that sometimes it's hard for you to see how rest and digest, relax, serotonin state, Ten of Cups, kind of contentment could possibly be part of the plan. Wouldn't it be better to just keep working, keep going, and keep striving, and do more and more and more? Well, maybe, but I think it would lead to burnout eventually. Okay? So with this, if you have to schedule time to relax, do it. We got to sit down before we fall down. You know, in your relationships, we have a Princess of Swords. I feel like you're going to be starting a new relationship, or maybe you are already forming new relationships with people. I feel like you're sort of building more bonds with your peers, and I think it's a very good thing. I think that you're starting to sort of open up a little bit and just make some friends, not just like strategic business, associations and networking, but just like, kind of like hanging out with them. I want to talk to people, just have fun and get to know people and be curious. So I like this energy because it is showing that we're starting to open up to the Ten of Cups a little bit, and we're starting to say, just, well, what feels good to me? What do I like? Who do I want to talk to? Not because there's any particular reason or strategy behind it, but just because it feels good, and it's going to be nice to connect with people, or maybe we're finding ourselves exploring new hobbies or new adventures, new curiosities. Maybe it's like, I want to read different books nowadays, or I want to explore some different things. I want to look at the birds. Maybe I'll study birds or other animals or nature or whatever it is. Not because it's like, well, this is going to help my business. This is going to make me smarter, then I'll be better at the work, and there's a strategy to it. No, it's just, I like it. It feels good. I want to learn about something, right? And I really think that I think that you and I have some similarities in that way. Because, when I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in life and what activities or what interests or what books to read and what skills to learn, I always kind of think it back to like, what would be the purpose of it? How would that fit into my plan for life right now? And I'm trying to get out of that more. I'm trying to say, you know what? I want to do it just because it's fun, just because I like it. I don't even care if I'm good at it. It's not part of some strategy or some big plan. It's just, I want to do it. Yeah. And this is that curiosity. So I think this is very good. It's, again, meeting people, just opening yourself up to your peers, to just having friends, just because, not because they could do something for you, but just because it's kind of fun to just like, shoot the breeze with people here and there. Now, in the position of the obstacle, we have a Prince of Cups. The obstacle there is to get out of our fixed emotional state. I feel like you really need to tap into some of your feelings here. Okay, I think that there's probably some shadow work to be done. Okay, I think that we need to move our heart around a little bit. This is the card of authenticity. This is the card of saying that we're authoring our own story here, and I feel like our emotions need to. I don't know. I feel like they're stuck. I feel like they need to sort of flow a little bit more, right? We kind of look at the Four of Cups as maybe a little bit of an ice cube. We kind of see as in frozen water, not the rapper / actor. And we see the fixed water energy here as like a heart that really isn't moving toward things very readily. Okay? And then of course we see the Hanged Man, which is just flowing water. Flowing, right? And so it's kind of like, whatever's binding together our emotions, we got to try to let it go, because we need to just feel, and maybe it's just, I don't know, a lot of factors. I think there is some shadow work that needs to be done in order to find out, like, where are my emotions stuck and how can I unstuck them? How can I get the water flowing? How can I accomplish all these great things in life, which you are, and enjoy them too? We want more joy. We want to go with the flow. We want to be a little bit less fixed and rigid and frozen in our enjoyment, right? So I feel that you might it might be difficult for you to open up to people. It might be difficult for you to sort of focus on your own needs, your own emotional needs, okay? And allow yourself to really feel good about what you're accomplishing and not be, let's say, worried about other things, or not to be kind of hyper-focused on other things that maybe, don't need your focus right at this moment. So we've got this Hanged Man at the end, which to me feels like a letting go. It feels like we're accepting this win and we're just leaning into it, and we're just letting ourselves sort of dive into that feeling, diving into our emotions, diving into the bliss and the contentment of the moment. Okay, it's not going to last forever. And I think that's kind of the problem here, is that we kind of feel like if I feel good about this win, then I'm going to lose momentum. Maybe I'm going to lose steam, or I'm not going to want to get up and go back to work again tomorrow morning. It's kind of like I don't want to sleep because I'm not going to want to get out of bed. That sort of thing again. So I feel like this card is sort of learning. I feel like sometimes we just have to have this sort of trust fall. We have to just let ourselves feel it and just believe that this is a big win. This is something you deserve. You 1000% you deserve to enjoy this. Okay? And so we're choosing to kind of we're choosing just to trust it and let go and sink into it for a minute. Yeah. I want to look at the mystery card. I want to see if this is maybe the Empress, if this is going to be some more water energy. I kind of feel like it's going to be something fiery, okay, or something active. It's either going to be air or fire is kind of what I'm feeling. But if you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. Yeah, air, the 10 of Swords. The 10 of Swords is a couple of things. It is one, we don't want to betray ourselves. We don't want to stab ourselves in the back. We don't want to sabotage ourselves. Okay, by ignoring the 10 of Cups, I feel like we're missing out on the experience. We're losing the we're losing the opportunity, right? It's like if you have these big wins, you have all these successes in your life, but you're not feeling it. It's like we missed an opportunity to really be thankful and blissful and content and love, and to really have this feeling, because this is the feeling that's going to fuel you to continue to go and do more work and live your life and continue to build. So I feel like we're missing out on a big part of the experience if we don't enjoy it. It's like you go on vacation, but it's just all planning and stress and planning and stress and all this sort of, and you never enjoy yourself. It's like, why even go? We've got to find a way to relax, right? This is also the card of the birdcage. We're getting out of the birdcage. We're letting ourselves just swim freely, where then the Hanged Man is sort of getting out of the restrictive energy, keeping ourselves, no, I just got to be very strict. I think you're very disciplined, but I think you can be a little too strict with yourself. We're sort of pinching pennies, and that's a good thing. But sometimes when you have a win, you got to step outside the box a little bit. Let yourself have a little free time, and then just come back to your structure, and if that's where you like to be. But getting out of the birdcage to me feels like you don't have to be so restricted in your life now. You don't want to go crazy. And like, let's say suddenly you have this financial win, and you're financially secure now. You don't want to go and waste it all, right? But you have to, allow yourself a little bit of reprieve, a little bit of repose. You don't have to be in the pressure cooker anymore. You can enjoy life a little bit responsibly, a little bit, right? We don't have to be in the birdcage anymore. You're free from that. And so it could be that pressure cooker kind of feels like the birdcage. It feels like I'm stuck in there. But you're achieving something that's going to allow you to get out of that, at least to some degree, okay? And we need to recognize that, and we need to have that feeling and that sort of freedom feeling. Yeah. I think this is a pretty significant card. We're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do some oracle cards. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. There's a link in the corner. There's a link in the video description. New readings for Virgo on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.